This Premier League Matchday 30 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with the promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Wednesday, March the 11th. We are here to discuss part of the Champions League action because part of it is happening right before our very eyes, before we get stuck into another Premier League weekend, match day 30. Joining me from somewhere in Nottinghamshire is Mr. Barry Penaluna. Hello, Bazza. Stop yawning.
I'm fucking knackered. I know, I'm yawning, can't stop. I should be wide awake at this new time that we're unlocking. A popular one in the chat. We've got 3 people in the chat, and 2 of them have already complained that we are podcasting at the time of Real v Man City kicking off. I would imagine is a game people will be watching. PSG Chelsea as well. But as you said to me before we come on, it is a podcast, so listen to it when you want.
I know. We don't ask these people to turn up, Barry. Fucking hangers on. Just trying to ride our coattails, Baz. I'd be much happier if they all just logged off and let us get on with it. Yeah, we haven't looked at new time.
Haven't we? The word I thought you were going to use there. I thought you were going to use the F word.
No, I went Barry. It's all in jest, wasn't it? So, yeah, we've podcasting at 8 p.m., which is just as the games have kicked off. But it's all the rage, isn't it? Goldbridge and all that. This is a watch-along, Baz, is what we're doing here. Only problem is I can't see my notes and the telly at the same time. So I've had to eschew one. So I've eschewed the telly. So I can see the smudges moving around. And I can roughly know what's going on. I'll put the Chelsea game on just because I'm a Maverick. I haven't got the Man City Madrid game on. But I can see the white smudges are on the attack. Oh, that's unlucky. The whites nearly scored. I think that's Chelsea. So, yeah, we haven't looked a new time for several reasons. One, I've got a 10 o'clock commentary tonight in Serie A in Brazil, Barry. Atletico Mineiro, who were the team who were involved in that 23-man riot at the weekend. That's the game Lee should have had both teams to receive a red card against Internacional of Porto Alegre.
Who's going to play? Have they got a team they can put out after getting 12 red cards?
It was different. It's complicated as snakes in Brazil, innit? It was the state championship at the weekend. This is Syria. So if you're looking for a bet in that, it looks really cagey. It looks under 2.5 goals. They've only played 4 games each in this season so far. Neither team have won a game yet. Drawn 2, lost 2 each. So they're sitting right down the bottom end of the table, and it looks rubbish. And then, as I reported on Monday or Sunday, whenever we did the show, I'm going to Hexham tomorrow. Og has sponsored the race, so we're meeting at the central station, and we're getting on it. So I'll be in no fit state to record anything for at least 72 hours. I can't imagine. So watch a bit of Cheltenham on the big screen. Judge the best turned out in the maiden hurdle at Hexham and all that shenanigans. So hence the Wednesday 8 o'clock time slot. So what tonight? We've got picked Chelsea as an underdog. Sporting Bodo Glimt were absolutely hammered, by the way. They went off at 6-5 tonight, plus 120. When they were 15 away when the lines opened, and then when we did the show on Sunday, they were 8-5 plus 160. So continue to get absolutely hammered in. And somebody might have just gone suspended, Bodo Glimt, actually.
It looked like they might have went 1-0 up, but I don't think they have.
No, they didn't. And then Real Madrid and City. Arsenal got away with it tonight. Lucky bastards. Late penalty. No set piece, no goal. I mean, they're still flaky pass, like they're still unreliable. They can't score a goal. Undone by a set piece and then got a very late penalty. But so that's why we're doing it tonight. Last night, we do the picks first before we take apart the games, because I did really well. I was 3 out of 4. My only losing pick was in the Newcastle match where I took Barcelona. So a little bit of reverse mush psychology in there. But wasn't it really easy last night as well? Can I interest anyone in Galatasaray Liverpool under 2.5 goals? When you all keyword scoffed at me, 6-4 plus 150 under 2.5. What a judge, Barry! Unbelievable stuff that. Bayern to win in over 2.5 match goals. That was in by 8:15. Both teams to score over 2.5 in Atletico Madrid and Tottenham. I mean, they were just giving shit away last night. Everything went to form except Newcastle. Newcastle haven't gone to form all season, apart from away at Liverpool and away at Manchester City, where they can be guaranteed. So that was that. Missed on Arsenal -1 tonight. So far so good. Baz, how are you doing?
2-2 last night, but 2+ money winners, the 2 you mentioned, Bayern and over 2.5, and the Spurs, both teams to score over 2.5 as well. So 2 team rides both came in. For me, I had the over 3.5 in the Newcastle game, and I got Liverpool wrong. I thought Liverpool would possibly win it, with Bayern getting a go, with Galatasaray getting on the score sheet. I went a bit bold, but Liverpool were shite. So, every cloud and all that.
So in terms of the actual match, Newcastle was just gutting, wasn't it? Like, it's a funny feeling to come out of the ground, because normally you're either delighted or furious. They're your general football emotions. But like last night, I was just sad. Like, and not really for me. I was sad for everyone coming out. I was sad for the players. I was sad for the coach. I was sad for Bob. I was sad for just the city. And then everyone who was there, I felt like they deserved it. And it's probably a little bit soft, because I'm still sort of viewing the Champions League as a little bit of a luxury, a little bit fun. I'm not viewing it as a hard-nosed football supporter. We must win this. We must do that. I'm still just viewing it as mild shenanigans. So second time this season, I've rolled up to watch us play Barcelona. And we were fucking great. We were absolutely brilliant from pillar to post. And the weird thing is, if we'd walked out at 0-0, had it finished 0-0, I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
And 4 minutes later, the result's the same. It's still a draw, but it's having something given to you and then having it taken away. And it was horrible. And I just felt terrible for absolutely everyone. Like, oh, what a goal. The Blues have scored on the telly, Baz. Bradley Barcola. So I can sing a little bit. He's rifled one in off the crossbar. PSG 1. Chelsea 0. First goal. What do we do now? Goal. You have to throw your chair across the room, Baz, and type something. Oh, bloody hell. He couldn't eat a toffee in a toffee shop or something like that. The fucking twat. That was at short notice. That was an excellent impression and a very good toffee-related simile, Barry. What were we on about? Yeah, Newcastle. It was just sad, wasn't it? Because I thought we were fucking great. And then today I thought, why did Saturday night happen when we couldn't get the ball off Manchester City, who were nominally worse? Like, that Man City team was worse than what Barcelona had out. And then last night we played them. That's why they play the matches. That's all I could come up with, Baz. If it was that straightforward, then it would be easy. So anyway, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved being there. I loved every minute of it. And I was just devastated for everyone when I came home. Any thoughts?
Yeah, as you say, like, had you have offered me a 1-1 before the game, I'd have snapped your hand off. Had we have went 1-0 down and then finished 1-1, would have been delighted. It was just, as you say, the manner of it, especially sort of because you were just waiting for the whistle as well. There was no extra time to be played. I mean, you can't moan about it because it happens in every game these days. But that was just a sickener. I think even like 10 seconds earlier, Barcelona were just minging about with it in their own half. I think they thought the whistle was about to go.
They were quite happy at 1-0. Me and Bob said that. Rodrigo had it on the halfway line, didn't out with it. Rafinha, sorry, had it and did nothing with it.
It looked like
and they'll take one. And why wouldn't they? Because they'll fancy their chances. And then and it doesn't. I'm not blaming it. Jacob Murphy went to win a tackle when everyone else was just standing off, and he didn't quite get there, and that broke the lines. That broke up the pattern of the play. And it just gave them a little incentive to make a run. And it was not his fault. That's just what happened.
Yeah,
and all of
I've seen a few people
moan
saying you've got to be able to see it out there. Be honest, the 5 minutes leading up to it, there was a second goal there for us. We look more likely to go and nick it 2-0. And you can take a 1-0, but if you feel like there's something there, we had a couple of breakaways.
How did we get 1-0 up?
Exactly.
In the 86 minutes by seeing it out at the other end. Absolute bollocks. Just get on with it. Play the game.
The thing is, what's happened so many times is we have sat back on a 1-0 or a 2-1.
Yeah.
And then people moan there saying, what are we sitting back for? Why are we not going all out? Because that's what's worked. Like, it's the same people complaining when we sit back and concede, and then complain when you're not sitting back and concede. It was one of those things. It was a bit of it was a clumsy tackle, wasn't it? I don't even think he had to make it because it was so crowded in that penalty area. The chances of him getting all the way through and getting a shot off and getting it past Ramsdale are probably slim anyway. But it is what it is. We go into next week with a chance. That's all we can ask for, really.
Normally, all the people with terrible opinions are the internet people. I was in the Granger Market at lunchtime today to buy a hat for Steve Brown. It's Steve Brown's birthday, and I was in charge of getting him a hat. So I went to the retro shop. This little vintage shop sells old football shirts, and I got a good hat. It's I can't remember the name of it. It's 2002, some little town in Colorado, tractor fair, yellow snapback, tidy. And I was talking to the bloke in the hat shop, and he just said, he said, apart from the front three, I thought they were all shite. That Isula's shite, Elanga's shite. Then I just started the nodding and smiling. I thought I was going to have a nice football chat, and I just had to say, see you later, mate, you're a cretin.
I thought Elanga had a decent game last night. I thought Elanga had put one of his best games.
Yeah. That was my point. Luckily, though, what helped everyone feel less sad with the other results, because fucking Liverpool got beaten. That's always funny. It's a happy thing, isn't it? That, to be honest, I claimed to be 6-4 winner, but the game was like, it could have been 15-all. Like, it settled down a little bit, but it was absolute mayhem. But I enjoyed Liverpool getting beat. And then, how can you not laugh at Tottenham? We talked at the weekend about the entire nation uniting behind Tottenham's relegation push. But that was something different last night. I thought there was a malfunction on the scoreboard in St. James's because the numbers were just going up. Thought it was broken, like someone had left the button pressed in. And then to see what happened to Kimski, I've no idea what's gone on there. I can't offer a suggestion, Baz. It was just insane, wasn't it?
I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you've seen situations where someone's subbed on in the second half and subbed off 10 minutes later, and that's the sort of your embarrassing situations you've seen in the past. Never with a keeper. But, even more ridiculous, the fact that he'd already made the big decision in terms of dropping Vicario because he's shite, to then bring the young lad in, put him in, and after 15 minutes, just saying, no, that's not working. I couldn't get my head around it. I don't know whether it was the right thing or not, because let's be honest, they still conceded another couple of goals. If his head's gone, maybe you've got to bring him off because it could have been 6 or 7. But where does he go from there? Like, how do you get him back up for any kind of game in the future? I don't know. Bizarre.
He made it on our radar the law of diminishing returns on substitute goalies, because he played one League Cup game, didn't he, last year?
I mentioned at the time the Spurs fans' reaction about Kinski. What an absolute superstar this bloke's going to be, because he had an absolute blinder, didn't he?
Yeah,
in that game. And I was like, nah, that's one game. That's not going to be an ongoing thing. And then sure enough, here we are. His Spurs career is probably now over. Bless the lad. He made a couple of mistakes. It is what it is. Funny though.
Callum's just told me to grow up for what I believe he must have spotted was my visual joke, which was excellent podcast material. Chelsea have just hit the post. I can't tell him what it was. It's, what's his name? Plays up front. Dembele, it might have been. Number 10.
Well, yeah, Dembele.
Oh, good save, actually. Keeper tipped it onto the post, right? Anything else to report, Baz, before we get stuck into the Prem?
No. Let's get stuck into the Prem, and then we can watch the second half.
Oh,
of these
actually,
games.
I've got one thing to report. I messaged you earlier on, just because we have lots of American listeners. I did want to comment. Is Joe here? Joe's here. We mentioned Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. We mentioned Great Britain taking on Mexico last week when we hit the over. Great Britain got a win against Brazil the other night, which means, importantly, they don't have to qualify for the next tournament, which is really good for funding and stuff. So baseball, softball, GB gets a big whack of funding. But the self-proclaimed world champions, who win the world championship every year by not playing anyone else in the world, played Italy last night. Italy, that is. There was a renowned baseball giant, Italy. And Italy absolutely spanked them. And the funniest thing of all of this is the USA manager is a bloke called Mark DeRosa. Oh, that's not a goal. Bloke called Mark DeRosa. But he's an ex-player, but he's a telly bloke. He hosts like a daily morning thing. It's a bit like the making Alan Brazil manager, just because he's not a proper manager, but he's a TV personality. And they won the first two games, America. And before the game, he thought they'd already qualified for the quarterfinals. And no one corrected him. So he played all the reserves. He was given all the pitchers who never play a game. He was playing everyone in the wrong order. He was playing righty batters when he should have been playing lefty batters. He just fucked it up and they got spanked. And it's really, really funny. Mexico play Italy tonight. And if they carve it up between them, they can knock the USA out. An old school West Germany v Austria 1982.
Imagine.
A low-scoring win for Mexico sees the USA out, which would be roundly hilarious. So if you believe in a conspiracy theory, Italy are just going to allow Mexico to score 2 runs, and then no one's going to swing at a pitch for the rest of the night. We can all go home happy. So there we go. Joe Tollis, but Mark DeRosa is a retard, which is fairly critical, Joe. John's joined us. John Cullifay, how you doing? So yeah, I'd be wary of taking the piss too much of my baseball paying overlords. But anyway, that made me laugh a lot. Right, picks wise, Baz. March is here. SGP's giving away $25,000 in Survivor Madness. When I take all, one person takes home $25,000 guaranteed. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Loads of trading options. Kalshi's got combos, combine 2 or more predictions to increase your payouts. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That's KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And Underdog has got you covered for pick'em for almost every sport. Underdog has just increased the payouts. 2 pick entries pay 3.5 times your money. 3 pick entries are 6.5 times. New offer is new customers play $5 and get $75 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code SGPN. Real Madrid take the lead against Manchester City. Barry, have you got that game on? Are you watching anything?
I've just got Bet365 on at the minute. What price would you got for no English teams to win a game this weekend this week in the Champions League? 6
Yeah, I know.
6 games and not one of them going to win by the looks of things. It's pretty astonishing, really.
Bear in mind, a huge portion of my handicap in the entire week was that all other countries' teams are absolutely dog shit. So I've done well to pick some winners. Bear in mind, I've got everything wrong. Valverde with the goal. Going to Joe. Right. Premier League goes from Saturday lunchtime. No, it doesn't. Saturday, 3 o'clock. There's no lunchtime game. Through to Monday night. There are 1, 2. Oh, shit in hell. 2 just 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday, starting with Burnley against Bournemouth. Burnley 16-5 plus 320. The draw is 11-4 plus 275. Bournemouth 5-6 minus 120. This was very easy, Barry. I'll get me Ray good out because you've made the same pick as me. Burnley are back to being rubbish again after a brief spell of liveliness a couple of weeks ago. They lost to Everton last time. They were 3-0 down inside 34 minutes to Brentford, even though they managed some sort of weird fight back. Still got beat. And that's quite a comparable game, actually, that Bournemouth to the Brentford one. Bournemouth undefeated in 9. Too many draws, but Burnley are a level below the teams they've been drawn with and certainly on the level the teams have been beaten. So I just stopped at Bournemouth 5-6 minus 120. Baz seemed too easy.
Yeah, you can put your ray gun away though.
Okay.
Despite the fact you're on a win, I've just gone a slightly different way. But yeah, Bournemouth. You said unbeaten in 9. I've got them unbeaten in 10. It might be a cup game in amongst that, but not many wins. 6 draws in those 10 games, including the last 3 in a row. The goals have dried up a little bit for Bournemouth. They've only scored 1 in the last 3 games. But what's the perfect tonic for any team short of goals? Burnley is the answer. Burnley just 1 win from the last 9, lost 5 of the last 7. But the pattern with Burnley is just the goals conceded. Comfortably the worst in the league, conceded 58 in the 29 games. So bang on 2 goals per game. They've conceded 2 or more in 6 of the last 7 games. So that's where I went. I went for the Bournemouth team total. Bournemouth over 1.5 at 8-11.
I did think that was your other option if you weren't going to rig on it. Bournemouth were both teams to score for Joe. Callum, Bournemouth half-time, full-time. I don't know if that's just a little pop at Smudger or what. The second game is Sunderland taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. Sunderland are 23-10. There's been a little bit of money for Sunderland. Don't know why. 23-10 plus 230. The draw, 23-10 plus 230. Brighton have drifted out a little bit to 5-4 plus 125, Barry.
Yeah, I don't know why there's money for Sunderland either, because they're not winning many games still. Sunderland just 1 win in their last 5. The win against Leeds, and 3 defeats in those 5 as well, including a couple of home games. The home form has dropped off a little bit. Good result against Leeds last time out, but then followed that up with a defeat to Port Vale. But there's just no patterns for me in the Sunderland form in terms of goals and things like that as well. 3 unders and 3 overs in the last 6. The only thing that did stand out was the both teams to score no. It's hit in 4 of the last 6, so a slight lean towards that in Sunderland games. And then Brighton, they look to have turned a bit of a corner, back-to-back wins against Forest and Brentford, and then defeat to Arsenal, although they were competitive in that one. 4 of the last 6 for Brighton have went under 2.5 goals, and 5 of the last 6 for them saw both teams to score no. So that little bit of form works for both sides, both teams to score no. There's plenty of clean sheets in games these teams are involved in. I do think it'll be a low-scoring one. Unders is a big favourite in this game as well, but I'm going to take both teams to score no. One of them will keep a clean sheet, 19-20.
Yeah, I've skinned that cat similar but different way. Pete's joined us. Pete's picks. Me and Pete got stuck in. Well, I say me and Pete. Pete got stuck into Cheltenham on Monday, but we've done all right the last couple of days. So the show is still up on our YouTube page, and the link to the Telegram is kicking around as well. Pete's Picks 01. Pete's Picks been picking a couple of winners at Cheltenham. I've enjoyed the racing. Fucking Denise has been at it, hasn't she? Absolutely mullered everyone on the old Super Boosts. So I've watched Sunderland the last 2 weeks. I did the commentary against Leeds. They're absolutely shite. They somehow won 1-0. And then they lost 1-0 at Port Vale in another demonstration of them being absolutely shite. They haven't scored since Pussy was a kitten, a proper goal. Brighton are too short to take as a pick here, 6-5, because they don't win enough either. But all the form for both teams is the unders. The under 2.5 is 4-5, minus 125. So like I said, Baz, same pick, but different. Low scoring between Sunderland and Brighton. 2 simultaneous tea time games on Saturday.
2 half-5s. Don't get it. I
have never seen that before. I don't know why. First of which is Arsenal taking on Everton. Arsenal are 9-25, minus 277. 15-4 the draw, plus 375. Everton 15-2, plus 750. Arsenal did the usual thing. I just had a message off Bob saying, coming back now. I didn't even know he was out. So there you go. Excellent display of parenting. Arsenal scraped to draw tonight. Typical Arsenal fashion. They're capable of throwing that in. They did tighten their grip on the league last time with a 1-0 win at Brighton. Same game as tonight. You know, a couple of half chances go one side of the post or the keeper makes a save. And they get the 1-0. Tonight they don't. They got the 1-1. Could have easily been a 0-1. The home form's good. And against teams outside the top 6, it's particularly good. Played 9, won 9. 6 of those, they've covered a handicap. Do Everton get 6 points for a win? They're fucking in 8th and they're absolutely useless. How's that a thing? Fucking
Don't
shite.
lose away from home.
Yeah, that's true. They've won 7 of 14 away, including Man United and Villa, which is the teams in the top 4. They do relish their role as spoilers as well. They have done for a long time. I thought this was hard, Baz. So I did what I usually do and went into the stats. I made a little bet builder. Jordan Pickford is in good form. He keeps saving everything, doesn't he? And David Raya, similar. So I put the saves together because I think Everton will have a little go at them. Raya over 1.5 saves and Pickford over 3.5 saves. You get to 6-4 plus 150 for some hot goal reaction on Saturday tea time, Pass.
Yeah, funky, a little bit different. I've got a sneaky feeling there might be a bit of a surprise in this one. Obviously, Arsenal are flying.
Time off, Baz. The Whites have scored. Chelsea have equalised. Malo Gusto. No, is it Malo Gusto, the rubbish right back? Yeah, he scored anyway. 1-1. Carry on.
Yeah, it hadn't come up on my screen yet. You're ahead of me. So yeah, obviously Arsenal flying and at home don't drop many points at all. So taking them on might be a bit stupid. But Everton's away form, it's rock solid. They're third in the away table for the season. They've lost only once away from home since October. They're unbeaten in the last 6 away games and won 4 of the last 5. So Everton are no mugs away from home. Real Madrid have just gone 2-0 up as well, by the way. Add to that, the fact Arsenal are playing tonight and Everton will be just that little bit fresher. Wednesday to Saturday. I'm assuming the reason Arsenal are Saturday is because they're playing tonight, but they don't want the Sunday game because they're also playing next Tuesday. So you've just got to shove them in somewhere. It's a spot where Liverpool would have got the 12:30, wouldn't they? And they'd have moaned their tits off about it. So Arsenal should win. But I don't see why Everton can't be a bit of a nuisance here. I don't really want Arsenal as short as this in handicaps or anything like that. I think Everton will have a goal in them. Everton have only failed to score once in the last 11 games as well. And Arsenal have only got 1 clean sheet in the last 5. I was tempted with Everton double chance. It's a decent price, but I'm just going to play it a bit safer. I'll go for the both teams to score. It's a plus money price, 6-5. Everton have definitely got a goal in them. I think Everton might cause trouble here.
Yeah, I did think there might be a little bit of shenanigans here. Bodo Glimt have a penalty kick, I believe, as well. Barry, I tell you what, this Goldbridge stuff, we're smashing, aren't we? 2 goals in Paris. As you said, Real Madrid 2-0 up on Manchester City. VAR check has confirmed a penalty in the Arctic Circle. We will get to that when the geezer steps up to take it. Tea time on Saturday is Chelsea taking on Newcastle United. Chelsea are 4-5, minus 125. The draw is 16-5 plus 320. Newcastle 14-5 plus 280. Barry, this is all you.
Yeah, I mean, hard to know what you're going to get from Newcastle. I did mention last week, it seems very rare that we can string 2 decent performances together, which is a bit of a concern after last night. There isn't as much scope for rotation for Newcastle. Obviously, got a big game ahead of them next week. Might have one eye on that, but that's the same for Chelsea. Chelsea are going to be going into a big game next week on the Tuesday night against PSG. Newcastle extra day's rest could come into it, I suppose. I mean, Chelsea, I don't know what to make of them. They got off to a good start under Rafinha. He's come in. He's beat Man United, Man City and Arsenal first couple of games, was it? I don't know.
He definitely didn't beat Arsenal. I think he's lost 3 games since he took over, and they've all been against Arsenal.
Yeah, I can't remember. He won 2 decent games, I think, and then he's beaten. I mean, they had a decent run of games where Palace, Wolves, West Ham.
Carry on talking, Baz. I think Bob's locked out.
All right, can he? So yeah, although Chelsea got off to a good start under Rosenior, he did have a favourable run of games with some of the dog shit down there. Palace, Wolves, West Ham in his first few games. And since then, he's won only one of the last 4 league games. Draws with Burnley and Leeds. Made hard work of Wrexham. I think it's a difficult game for Newcastle, but one where I'm drawn to Newcastle just due to them being dogs here. The recent head-to-head's good. We drew 2-2 earlier in the season in a game where we were 2-0 up and blew it. We beat them 2-0 last year twice, once in the Cup, once in the league. So the last 3 head-to-heads, Newcastle have scored twice. And Chelsea don't keep many clean sheets, only 1 in their last 13 league games now. And they've conceded 2 often enough recently. Arsenal, Leeds, West Ham all put 2 past Chelsea recently. And Newcastle have just scored 2 or more in 4 of the last 5 league games. So I'm going for a Newcastle team total here. Whether it's enough for them to win, who knows? Because Newcastle could do anything. But I think they can get a couple of goals against Chelsea. 6-4 for Newcastle over 1.5 team total.
Don't mind it, Baz. Talk Fan TV from Bournemouth joins us occasionally. Welcome along, mate. We've already done Burnley-Bournemouth. Baz took the Bournemouth team total. I took Bournemouth outright. And the Bournemouth fan has gone for Bournemouth 3-1. So that fits in with everything. That all fits in. Bodo Glimt slotted the penalty. Turns out nobody knew Bob was out because the key, which is normally out, so anyone could just burgle our house at will, was in. Everyone assumed that the whole family was in. Turns out Bob was out knocking on the window. So I've let him in anyway. Honestly, no idea what to do with Newcastle at all. Or Chelsea, for that matter. And I know, like, I handicapped this before Chelsea had played tonight, but I thought what Chelsea result wouldn't make me feel any differently, because the handicap on Chelsea is they're really flaky. So they can't win 4-0. So had they won 4-0, it changes nothing. Similarly, had they lost 4-0, 3-game winless run was ended with that 4-1 win at Villa, which is pretty impressive. But the last 2 home games were draws against Burnley and Leeds. Both teams to score 7 in a row, 6 of those over 2.5. Newcastle all over the place, absolutely all over the place. Brilliant v Barcelona, brilliant v Man United with 10 men. Rubbish v Man City, rubbish v Everton. But both teams scoring over 2.5, 6 in a row. It's a really boring pick. I apologise, but handicapping and supporting Newcastle has fatigued me over the last few weeks. It's been expensive. It's been a big emotional effort, physical effort, etc. It's also a really skinny price as well, but I take it. Both teams are scoring over 2.5, 18-25, minus 138. We're also brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Download the Novig app, get $50 when you spend $5. Promo code is SGPN. Get on the action. Novig, promo code SGPN. Rhythm is your official data tool for dominating the madness of college hoops. The AI bracket generator is now open. Generate up to 3 NCAA tournament brackets backed by AI models all the way through to the finals. If you're looking to go premium, the promo code is SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use the promo code SGPN25. Saturday, there's still more football on Saturday. There's an 8 o'clock kickoff, which is West Ham United and Manchester City. West Ham 72 plus 350. The draw is Burlington-Bertie 130 plus 333. Man City 4-6 minus 150. West Ham get a chance here. They've only lost 2 out of 8. They won in the Cup on Monday. The better form is against the bad teams. Man City haven't really... West Ham haven't really turned up against the better teams. Like the 4 wins in that run of 8 were Spurs, Sunderland, Burnley, and Fulham. Against the top 7, it's played 10, won none, drawn 2, lost 8. Man City were picking up wins until Forest, but they're just not very convincing. Even those wins aren't very convincing. And tonight, they immediately found themselves 2-0 down against Real Madrid. So the 4-6 Man City is very short, not appealing at all. They've lost at Newcastle. They've lost at Brighton. They've lost at Tottenham. They drew at Tottenham. So they are capable of throwing these results in. I thought the Somerville injury was a problem for West Ham because he's been very, very good for them. He went off late against Brentford on Monday night. So purely on the strength of data, Baz, this is one of those where instinctively I wouldn't be hugely keen on it. Like I took those Liverpool unders a couple of times, and actually it worked out. This is a pick that's hit for Manchester City in 6 of the 7 league games, last 7, and it's Man City half-time, 11-10, plus 110. So it doesn't mean that might finish 1-1. Man City might come back and beat them. But Man City keep getting their noses in front at half-time. Man City half-time, 11-10, plus 110.
Yeah, I'm on City as well. I've got down here just one blemish on City's recent record with a draw against Forest, but obviously they're now sitting 2-0 down against Real Madrid, which changes that a little bit. But otherwise, 7 wins from the last 8 for City. When you go back a bit further, they're unbeaten now in 11 and won 9 of the 11. Again, caveat that with the fact that the Real Madrid game is currently going on as we speak. But there's enough there, and particularly in the league form, to suggest the drop points against Forest was the anomaly, the outlier. And I think they should get back on track here. West Ham are chipping away at things. They're getting themselves back on track. Only 1 defeat in their last 5 league games. But that was a heavy defeat against Liverpool, 5-2. City beat them 3-0 in the reverse fixture. And I think City will win this one easy enough. West Ham's home record isn't great. Only 1 win in the last 8 at home. So I think City will win. And the way to get them to a price is just tag on the over 1.5 goals. Because they've generally always got a couple of goals in them. So City win and over 1.5 is 5-6.
Okay, we move across to Sunday at, let's have a look. There are 1, 2, 3 2 o'clock kickoffs on Sunday, the first of which is Crystal Palace taking on Leeds United. Palace 11-8 plus 137, 23-10 the draw plus 230, 21-10 Leeds plus 210. Baz.
Where are we? Palace Leeds. Start with Leeds, who dropped off a little bit lately. A good win in the FA Cup, as we talked about with Andy's missus listening. I had to praise Leeds a little bit. But in the league, just 1 win in 7. They've just lost their last 2 as well. Failed to score in each of those. Palace form is patchy. They are picking up points again, where they weren't in January. They went right downhill. But 3 wins, 2 losses in the last 5. So picking up a little bit. The home record for Palace, though, isn't great. I think the win over Wolves was their first win since November at home. So not many wins at home for them. Leeds, not winning many at all away from home. They've just won. Of course, they've not won since September away from home, Leeds, and 6 draws from their last 7 games. So I just got to the point where I couldn't trust either of these to win a game. Draw in the form lines all over for these 2 sides. As I say, 6 of the last 7 Leeds away games have finished in a draw. So I'm going to take a punt on the same here. Tight one, I think. I'm going to take the draw 23-10.
Chance 2-1. Oh my God. Chelsea, great move. Palmer straight at the goalkeeper. A bit like Atletico Madrid's goal last night. Goalkeeper makes a save. 1 through ball. Dembele's 1-on-1, runs 70 yards, sticks it in the bottom corner. It is 2-1 PSG when it could easily have been 2-1 Chelsea. Palace been a bit better lately. The wins again, when it's Spurs, does that count? They beat Wolves 1-0, late penalty. And they played okay against Man United. Leeds, I just thought it was too tight to split them. It just stinks of a draw, doesn't it? They had back-to-back home defeats, Leeds, against Man City and Sunderland. But before that, they had away draws against Villa and someone else, because I wrote Leeds, and they didn't draw with themselves. So they drew with someone. It just stinks of a draw, 23-10. And it's also the 1-1 draw of the week, 11-2, plus 550. I just didn't really trust the Palace form. I know they have come out of a hole a little bit. But yeah, it's the 1-1 draw of the week.
I don't even think you took any notice of my pick, did you?
Well, yeah, because you're telling me to rag on it, so you obviously picked the draw, didn't you?
Too much attention on the PSG game.
Yeah. See, this is why fucking Goldbridge has got 10 gazillion followers and we've got 22. Fair enough. Next, 2 o'clock, Manchester United take on Aston Villa. Fefwef's going to love this. This is going to agitate him no end. Man United are 18 to 25, minus 138. The draw is 3-1, and Aston Villa are 7 to 2, plus 350. Defeat at Newcastle for Manchester United was coming. They were lucky against Palace. They got a lucky draw against West Ham. I'm not having them. Now, Villa have fallen off a cliff. I understand that. And I've been into the trap more than once, Barry. I've paid several visits to the Aston Villa trap. However, that trap was when they were priced at 5 to 6. This trap is priced at 7 to 2, which is a whole different animal. There's nothing between these two. There's not enough between these two teams to make Villa 7 to 2. That just isn't. They're very, very similar. And Man United have won some games, I agree. Well, I can't agree. It's not a matter of opinion, Baz. They've definitely won some games. And Aston Villa have definitely lost some games. But that Man United form line shite. Sesko last minute against West Ham. Palace, red card, penalty, dog shit. And then they played against 10 men against us. And we absolutely played them off the park. Villa double chance, 21 to 20, plus 105. But Villa might return in the exotics later on, Barry.
Yeah, not for me. I'm not ready to walk in that trap again. I can see some of the reason behind it, though. Man United had the new manager bounced in. The Carrick comes in. I was talking. Who was I talking about before? New manager, Rosina. It was Carrick I was thinking of. Carrick came in, beat Man City, and beat Arsenal. That's where I was getting confused because I knew I'd wrote that down in my notes somewhere, but it wasn't about Rosina. It was Carrick. But he come in, beat Man City, beat Arsenal, won 4 in a row. But then it's been a little more underwhelming since then. 1-1 v West Ham, 1-goal wins against Everton and Palace. The Palace game was aided by soft red card, and then struggled against 10 men Newcastle last week. So I think I'd want to be very careful about backing Man United at the minute. But then it's Villa who've won 1 in the last 7, including the loss to Wolves in there. I still think Villa are full fade at the moment. But at the same time, I couldn't have Man United at 8 to 11. Again, haven't seen what we've seen over the last few weeks. I thought unders generally pretty safe in Villa games. 8 of the last 9 Villa games have went under 2.5 goals. And Man United have just had 3 unders in their last 5 as well. So I'm good on the unders. Unders here at 6 to 5. So you can have your Villa win 1-0, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not out the question.
But for
Real
me,
Madrid have gone 3-0 up here. Man City are getting absolutely dog walked. Underdogs at 5 to 2. Fucking ridiculous. Tell you what, though, my pick, Barry, is going to make for an incredible second half. If you remember, it was Man City to win from behind. So this is going to be an all-timer, boys. We need to get this show finished before the second half kicks off so we can all sit down and enjoy Real Madrid 3, Manchester City 4.
Yeah, I was on the City team total. I've got City to score 2 or more, so that's not bad.
Mate, we're all in.
I have got the Bodo team total. Bosch, 2-0. They have hit.
Is it?
Yeah, and I'm on PSG as well. So going all right tonight.
Bodo Glimt, the early payout, even if they don't hang on, puts me well ahead for the midweek. That's happy days. I can't believe, say the price, 15 to 8, smashed into 6 to 5. Bodo Glimt. Wasn't a fluke. We were right, Baz. Next, where we going next?
There is currently a VAR check for that Bodo goal, so I'll
flick it on in a bit. The next 2 o'clock kickoff, Nottingham Forest and Fulham. Forest are 15 to 13, plus 115, 12 to 5 the draw, plus 240. Fulham 12 to 5, plus 240. This is you, Baz.
This is me. Might upset Fairfirth again, yeah.
He seems to be on one tonight, Barry. I wouldn't worry about it. I think it's Fairfirth that's got the problems for us.
I know, definitely. I'm just not sure what to make of this price for Forest. It just feels a bit too short for a team with no win in the last 6 league games. Good result last week, good performance against Man City, but it's still no win in 6 league games. And if you look at their home form in isolation, no win in 6 home games either. Their home run has been tricky. They've played City, Arsenal and Liverpool in those last 6. But they've also dropped points at home to Palace and Wolves recently. Not won a home league game since December. Fulham, as I say, I don't have the same feelings for Fulham as you. But they did win the reverse fixture 1-0. all over the place at the minute. Knocked out the cup versus Southampton and lost 4 of the last 6 in the league. But there's usually goals in Fulham's games. 6 of the last 7 Fulham games went over 2.5. So that was one angle I was looking at. And then you look at the Forest home form. 5 in a row have gone under 2.5 now for Forest. I really struggled with this game. It's probably my least favourite game on the card, but purely on the prices, I think this game's a coin toss between the two of them. There's nothing between the two. Obviously, Forest are at home, but Fulham to win at 12-5 just looked more appealing. So I've taken Fulham as an underdog here. I think Fulham at 12-5 is the better value.
That's fucking my job, Barry. My first line of my notes was your first line. Forest seemed very short for a team with no winning 6. However, they did well at Manchester City. And I think they were unlucky to lose 1-0 in that Liverpool game as well. So there is a little bit, a few green shoots of recovery. Not many patterns with the both teams to score the over-under. Fulham lost at home to West Ham last time. Knocked out of the cup by Southampton. Although they did make 9 changes. The away form against the bottom half teams is good. They have won 4, drawn 2, lost 2. However, Barry, Forest have got some momentum. Fulham have conceded at least twice in 8 of their 14 away games. So the Forest team total, I thought, was relative value. Even money for Forest to score a couple of goals in this one. So, again, Fulham might still nick it through. It's not going to be a 5-goal thriller like you wouldn't have thought.
I wouldn't talk anyone out of anything either way on this. It's just a horrible game. As I say, probably my least favourite one there, which is why I just took the dog.
I think Forest have got a couple of goals in them. The afternoon game, tea time on Sunday, is Liverpool against Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool are 3-10, minus 300. At the draw, 5-1. And Tottenham is 17-2, plus 850. Liverpool are not very reliable. They blanked in Turkey this week. They lost at Wolves. But then they put 5 past West Ham in the home game before that. Tottenham's collapse has been absolutely spectacular, and wild. They couldn't beat an egg like Tottenham. 17-2. That's another Mark Goldbridge, wasn't it? Except he would have made it worse. They haven't won this year. Port Vale have beaten more Premier League teams than Tottenham in 2026. They've lost 5 in a row, conceding 13 times in the process. Then you can add in whatever the fuck that was in Spain last night. The over 3.5 goals looks fair. That's a bit like an over 1.5 when any other team in the world is playing. So the over 3.5. Because Spurs might help us. I mean, they got 2 last night, and then the Madrid goal came from Richarlison nearly scoring. So they might help us out. If they don't, they could still get spanked as well. Over 3.5 goals at 6-5 plus 120. I'll take 3-1 Liverpool, Bass.
Yeah, I fancy the goals here as well, and the 3-1 Liverpool will do nicely for me. I'll keep it very brief. Spurs are shite, Liverpool are shite, but both will score goals, I think. Spurs, overs in both teams to score, is hitting 5 in a row. And it's hitting 8 of the last 9 Spurs games, both teams to score in over 2.5. Liverpool have had a few clean sheets lately, but the same pick, both teams to score in over 2.5, hitting the last 3 of the last 4, for Liverpool. Liverpool should win this one, but I still think Spurs will find a goal. They do have a goal in them most weeks. They just can't keep them out at the other end. So both teams to score in over 2.5 is my pick. 20-21.
Okay, yeah, similar to mine. Look at Bob's turned up. Bob's been in the air fryer, Bob. Oh, right. This is controversial, Barry. Sausages, fair enough. Hash browns, fair enough. And tater tot things. So he's doubled up on the fried. It's just a different size. It's the same things, but a different size, isn't it?
It's just a mini hash brown, isn't it? Yeah.
So he's got,
or a massive tater tot.
Or a massive tater tot. Sausages, and then 2 sizes of fried potato.
Double carbs is controversial,
You what?
Double carbs is controversial.
Double carb. The kid's 14 years old, runs me 20,000 miles a week. barbecue sauce was the other thing. Thought it might have been brown sauce, but disappointingly not. One more game, which is on Monday night. Brentford take on Wolves. Brentford 11-20, minus 181. 16-5, the draw, plus 320. Wolves 19-4, plus 475. Can you think of a televised match of less interest to absolutely anybody? No one. And I mean, no one is interested in this football match, Barry. What you got?
You said the same last week about the Monday game, didn't you? West Ham, Brentford, FA Cup.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Of course not. No one did.
I don't even know where it was on. I tried. I put BBC on. Wasn't there. I put ITV on. It wasn't there. I looked on TNT and I don't think it was there either.
Well, this is the weird thing. I saw loads of people moaning that the Discovery app had crashed, so you couldn't watch it. But I just watched it on the telly on TNT.
Was it on
but
TNT?
You just said it wasn't there. So I don't know what sort of
maybe I didn't get that far then. Maybe I thought if it requires me firing up the Fire Stick, then I wasn't prepared to make that sort of effort. Maybe
that's what I mean.
I attempted the terrestrial TV, but then I didn't get any further than that, maybe. Yeah, this one looks shite as well. Brentford, Wolves. I think you've got to start giving Wolves a little bit of credit for some of their recent form. Recent form that's seen them draw with Arsenal, beat Villa, beat Liverpool in recent weeks. I think pressure off them now. I think they're resigned to their fate and probably playing with a little bit more freedom. And as I said, fans no longer give a fuck, so they're not getting on their backs anymore. So they've lost only one of the last 5 games in the league now. Now, Brentford are in similar form, lost only one of the last 6 for them. They've drew against Arsenal as well. They've beat Villa as well. Also beat Newcastle and Burnley away from home. Villa was away from home. So some good form from Brentford also. But the home form looks less hot than their overall form. No win in 3. And they've lost to Forest and Brighton recently at home. So that brought me back to giving Wolves a shout here. Both teams to score, I quite like at 4-5. 4-5. Both teams to score is going to be my main pick. I think Wolves will definitely have a goal in them. But I don't mind Wolves with a dog here. You can get close to 5-1 for Wolves. I think Wolves are worth a shout here at 5s as well. But the pick will be both teams to score 4-5.
I nearly boycotted handicap in this game. It was so uninteresting. Brentford won 1, drawn 1, lost 1 in the last 3. 6 of 8 under 2.5. But home against the bottom 7, they haven't been great. They've only won 1 of 5 against the teams down there. The price is way too short. 2 Wolves wins in a row. They've beaten Villa and they've beaten Liverpool. You have to give them a go, Baz. I'll take Wolves at 19-4. Plus 475. Is that a rare gun, Baz?
Almost. I put both teams to score as my main pick, but I did like Wolves as well.
Right, okay. 10 games in the hutch, Barry. Would you like to lead us off with your exotics?
Absolutely. I will start with my lock's going to be the Bournemouth team total over 1.5 goals. My dog, Fulham to beat Forest. Have that. I've gone for the games, Burnley, West Ham and Brentford games over 2.5 goals. 7-2 for those 3 games all to end up with over 2.5. Burnley, West Ham, Brentford. The stake in Stilton is a massive 75-1 underdog treble. There's some underdogs can win on this card this week. So let's round them all up. Newcastle to beat Chelsea. Fulham to beat Forest. And the final one, Wolves, to win that one against Brentford. 75-1 for those in a treble. Stick them in doubles as well. You might get a couple of them. Shite bet, Fef says. That's why it's 75-1. Let's see how it goes. But I think there's scope for a few underdogs this week. I think Everton against Arsenal.
Is Fef hungry, do you think, tonight?
He might be. Fef, what you had for tea? And if you haven't had it yet, go and have some food.
Definitely got a bit of sand in his vagina, and I'm not sure why. It must be the early kickoff bars with the 8 PMs. The sleeping tablets haven't kicked in or something.
Getting nervous for Forest tomorrow night. Now I've got a score. I've got Evan Nielsen for Bournemouth. 7-5 anytime, 5-1 first or last.
A lot of my picks are all dancing around yours, Baz. The exotics. My lock is Bournemouth. 5-6 on the money line. My dog is Villa. Have that. 7-2 plus 350. Corned beef pie is over 2.5 goals in the games at Chelsea, West Ham, and Liverpool. That's 9-4 plus 225. Steak and Stilton is an underdog double. Villa and Wolves. So we're kind of dancing around it. Just the 25-1 pass. I've gone fairly sane. Anytime goal scorer is Mo Salah. He's absolutely rubbish. Me and Bob were watching the Galatasaray game. Remember when I texted you about 12 years ago and said he was shite? I was absolutely right. But he'll bully a terrible team. And Tottenham, he'll score a dog shit penalty, or he'll get a tap in, or something awful will happen. 9-2 first and last, 11-10 plus 110. So Mo Salah, Dave, the bell end, he picked Newcastle, didn't he, last time out? Totally shit the bed there. This bet for Dave is absolutely off the map completely. Where he went
Newcastle against who?
Everton.
All right, we played Man United last time.
Do you know what happened there? I had my notes in my other jotter, didn't I? Because I'd left my jotter in the football bag. So I don't know what happened, but I don't know if Dave had a pick, or if that was the week we fell out because we had an argument. So I never asked him. This one has gone so far off the beaten track. Wolves, the second half to be their highest scoring half. Just totally random. It's 15-8 plus 187. If I can get this, he fucking listed the stats or the reasons why. It's absolutely painful. Wolves are slow starters. The first half goal output is amongst the lowest in the league. Their XG in first halves is consistently under 0.4. Opponents tend to control early phases, forcing Wolves into low-value, wide entries. Don't know what that is. Model projection. Wolves' first half goal, 0.28. So therefore, he's given them a goal, and it's in the second half. So that's that bad. I also asked him, on the back of Team USA's hilarious defeat to Italy in the baseball, what the most humiliating international defeat ever was, to see if it made it onto the list. It was a bit boring, really. He came up with American Samoa 0, Australia 31 in the 2001 World Cup qualifiers. And that was what prompted the entire transformation of that Oceania system. He also gave us Australia beating Namibia by 256 runs in the 2003 World Cup. China 96, Mongolia 31 in the Asian Games in the basketball. And finally, this is my favourite, in the women's under-18 Ice Hockey World Cup of 2008, Slovakia 82, Bulgaria 0, which is pretty impressive in the ice hockey. It's only like an hour,
60-minute game.
The shots in that game was 139-0 in favour of Slovakia, who won 82-0. And that, Barry, is everything I've got. I've got now to sound check Atletico Mineiro against Internacional of Porto Alegre. Anything to tell the people before we let them go?
West explained his dinner. He's had tuna, sweet corn, rice, and spring onion. What do you think about that?
What I'm not sure about is he's written "and a spring onion," like he's just like it was on the side.
Dropped a whole one on the top, or
maybe if he could have eaten it with a spring onion, like into.
I don't know about the tuna with rice. That's not tuna pasta. Lovely. Rice, I don't know.
No, tuna and rice is all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have that.
Fair enough. I mean, all of the things are all fine, but it's just not a combo I would have gone for. To be honest, it is more exciting than mine tonight. I had 2 chicken thighs. That was it. I wasn't very hungry tonight, and I was cooking some chicken thighs for the kids with a crispy skin on, though, season it up a bit, so that was all right. Busy week for me. I've got a triple up, 3 gigs in a row. Thursday, Friday, Saturday again. Leicestershire tomorrow for just a little record shop gig, an acoustic gig for a band I like. London on Friday night, going down to Camden Town to go watch Kyo again. I told you Kyo were amazing last week, and they've got a really good band supporting them, so I've gave in and decided to take Chloe down to London on Friday night to go see Kyo again, and then Saturday local back in Nottingham in the Bodega in Nottingham for a little gig there. So yeah, busy week. Chloe, I could have been 4. Chloe wanted me to take her to see the vaccines last night at Rock City in Nottingham. Obviously, I said no because Barcelona were playing. So she managed to encourage a lad from school to go with her. So we got them 2 tickets, cheap. I dumped her at the bus stop at 7 o'clock last night with 4 cans of lager for them to have on the bus.
Nice. Classy. Bus
and
lager.
then it was Budweiser, just some weak shite was the plan. And then Newcastle game finished. I jumped in the car and I drove back into town to pick them up so they weren't messing around in town at ridiculous hours waiting for a bus. Picked her up. She'd been on the floor. She'd fell over in a mosh pit and been on the floor a couple of times. She'd lost her Fred Perry coat at some point in a mosh pit.
Oh, no.
She did manage to get it back at the end. At the end of the gig, apparently she was like in the middle just shouting, "Who's got my coat? Who's got my coat?" And somebody pointed someone out and said, "He's got it," and he's given it to his wife. So she went,
"Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
Have you got my coat?" He was like, "Yeah." Handed it back. So she's got a coat with all the footprints on it and everything like that. So she was buzzing when she come out. She'd had a good night. She'd had a bounce around, lost her coat, got it back. She was very much expecting not to see that coat ever again. So yeah, she had a good night. So she's doing 4 this week. I couldn't keep up. I had to watch Newcastle.
Very good. I heard the vaccines on the radio today, of all things, Baz. They were doing a fucking Radio 6, pretentious. They were doing a thing on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, one of which being sex, and they played post-breakup sex by the vaccines as part of that. It's fucking nonsense, and it just put some records on, do you know what I mean?
Fifth meal's got taken another turn. It's got Mayo in as well. So yeah, tuna pasta, Mayo. Mayo with rice. Are you still having that, Malcolm?
I'm trying to picture it. I don't think the tuna and rice is fine, but I would have like soy sauced and it kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like
an Asian kind of fusion.
Yeah. I don't know, Barry. Controversial.
I'm not knocking it. You don't knock it till you've tried it.
Maybe that's why he's angry.
I don't think I've ever had rice and mayo.
Mayo and rice
just feels like a pasta-y thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, each to their own.
Anyway,
glad you enjoyed it.
I'm going to go now, Baz. I'm going to have a lovely time at Hexham tomorrow. Shall keep you updated. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thank you for paying attention. That is not a goal. Thought Man City, Real Madrid had scored again. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy the football. We'll come back one day, Sunday probably, something like that. And we will see you all down the road. Cheers.